Hello dealy, and welcome to Something Edible. Ours is a house that loves puppy chow. The guys that make the rice cereal, they call it Muddy Buddies, but in my house it's called puppy chow. You're talking chocolate, you're talking peanut butter, covered in powdered sugar. It's an awesome snack and it doesn't sit very long at my house. We make a lot of it. I bet I make it every couple of weeks or so. But the thing is it gets a little redundant for me. I'm a guy that likes a little bit of variety, and so really I got a little crazy with my puppy chow one time and decided to infuse the flavors of Mexican chocolate. We're talking about vanilla, we're talking about cinnamon, and to offset those flavors with that dark chocolate that's been spiced, I put ancho chili spiced pecans in along with it. So basically what you've got after that is a variation on just a snack that everybody loves. It's Mexican chocolate puppy chow. So let me show you how to make it. We're going to toast some pecans to begin with and get right into making our chow. Alright, I got some butter over medium heat in a non-stick skillet on this stove right now, and it's just starting to get bubbly. It's just starting to foam up, and so we want to start adding some spices to this now. So I got a half teaspoon of fresh ground ancho chili. You can use chili powder too, but sometimes they put stuff in chili powder and you don't quite know what it is. So, you know, I like to ground my my chili fresh, and you can see what it's doing already. That's an awesome color. I also, if you like a little more heat, which I do, I add 1/8 of a teaspoon of either ground red chili flake or cayenne pepper. And then you can't have nuts without salt, so I add a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt in there too. So with all that in there, and this is starting to foam up, which is what you want, I'm going to add 3 ounces of pecan halves. That's 3 ounces by weight is about 3/4 of a cup. If you want more nuts, add more nuts. It's your chow, so whatever. So I'm going to toss those with there. If you're into exhibition, you can certainly flip a skillet, but if you get one of these chili butter-soaked pecans coming out of the jumping out at you, then I'm not paying your cleaning bill. Alright, so we spread those out in there. The thing about the fats that you're dealing with here, you got fats in the nuts, you got fats in the butter, and when it burns, it's going to burn quick. So you can't step away from these really. You're going to have to wait, and you're going to have to watch these a little and give these a couple of stirs while this is browning up. And don't rush it either. You're on medium heat right now, so make sure you stay on medium. And we're going to watch these and let them toast. Alright, I'm about 5 minutes later, and I've had to turn the heat down a little bit. You really got to watch that heat. Even though you start at medium, you might need to back it off to medium-low or even low as you go, because when that starts to smoke like that, what you don't want to do is you don't want to burn it. And you're going to have to really watch this like a hawk and make sure that none of this burns in here. I'm about to the point where I'm pretty happy with this. This isn't burnt, by the way. Those are flecks of chili. That's toasted now. That's done. So I'm gonna kill the heat, and I'm gonna put them into a bowl. Yeah. Oh, missed one. And take this. If you can get that extra butter out of there too, more power to you. That's good stuff. So that'll just add flavor. Okay, that's good. We let those cool. You don't want to stick you got to do this first. You don't want to stick those in hot, because that's going to ruin your puppy chow if you do. So we're good. We'll let those cool, and we'll go get started on the puppy chow proper. All right, now that we've got our pecans done, we need to make the base for our chow. We have to have that chocolate base. So I'm going to take, I got a 85% chocolate bar here. This is the dark stuff. If you don't like this, go with something less. Go 70, go 50. You could even use semi-sweet chocolate if you really want here, but it's not going to melt as nice. So if you want chocolate chips, use chocolate chips. This is about 3 1/4 ounces, so you got to weigh that out or something if you're using something else besides one standard bar. I'm adding 2 tablespoons of butter, not margarine, to that. And then I'm also adding a 1/4 cup of creamy peanut butter. I think you got to use creamy here. I don't think chunky would really go. Besides, you got pecans coming into this anyway. You're also going to add a pinch of salt. And we're going to add we're going to add some cinnamon to this. So that's about a half teaspoon of cinnamon. Nope, that's a quarter teaspoon of cinnamon. We'll put the half in later. All right, so we're good there. And I'm going to move this to the microwave. Yes, the microwave. The microwave's best for this. It gets you in and out in a hurry, and you're not heating up the stove. So I'm going to do this for about 30-second intervals at a go, and stir it as we need to until it gets smooth. You want everything smooth and integrated. All right. I will say that my microwave is a little beefier than most. I want to say this is a 1400 watt microwave. So 30 seconds for me may not be 30 seconds for you. You know, a lot of microwaves are somewhere between 900 to 1100 watts. And so it's all about knowing the microwave. So 30 seconds isn't set in stone. You're just going to have to watch it. All right. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, we're going to stir that. All right, you can already see the butter's melted. The peanut butter's pretty melted. But the chocolate's not quite there yet. That's okay. The main thing here is you just want to make sure that everything's together. That's going to need, in my microwave, that's going to need about 30 seconds more. And you could probably rush that along if you used, like, chopped your chocolate up in smaller bits. But this 85% stuff melts really, really easy and really, really smooth. So that looks pretty good. Let's do 30 seconds longer and see where that gets us. You know, the microwave's good for a few things. Like, you can't really bake in it, but you can steam vegetables, melt chocolate. You know, it's good for a few things. And, you know, and frankly, I mean, some people say, yeah, microwave popcorn. I'd rather do my popcorn elsewhere, but yeah, it'll do popcorn too. 3, 2, 1, good. All right, let's see where we're at here. Oh yeah, there's nothing clumpy in there. And now to that hot mess, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, real vanilla, please. We add it now so that the vanilla doesn't cook off when everything's cooking in there. You know, vanilla extract uses alcohol to carry those flavors, and you don't want all that evaporating. We're pretty good there. That's ready to go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add that to the chow. You need a big container for this, big container. And in that big container, we're going to add 6 ounces or 6 cups of Rice Chex. And then we're going to add our chocolate stuff to that. So in we go. Can't show you this very well. Essentially what you're doing here is you're just folding that in. It doesn't look like it's all going to coat, but it will. The thing you don't want to do, you don't want to beat the crud out of this stuff. You just want to fold it. You bring the spatula in underneath and just get under there and just toss it around. You want to make sure that it's evenly coated. And if you leave a little bit of chocolate stuff behind, it's not a big deal, because we're going to come back in here and we're going to shake in this thing anyway. So don't do dishes yet. You're going to use this again. All right. That's nice and coated. That's about where we want to be. This needs to go on a silicone lined parchment lined sheet pan. Make sure that your chocolate stuff sits on that piece of cereal and has time to set up a little bit. So we're going to leave this out. This is one of the secrets to puppy chow, by the way. I mean, even if you're not making the Mexican chocolate stuff, this is a secret to it that you'll want to use. You know, if you've ever had to add too much powdered sugar, or it felt like you had to add more than the recipe called for, it's probably because you didn't wait long enough to add the powdered sugar. And actually, there's a trick to it. You got to add the powdered sugar in stages. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to let this sit. We're going to let it sit for about just about a half hour out on the counter to dry up a little bit. And if you wanted to hurry this, you could probably hurry it in the freezer, but it's better if you can let it sit. So here it will sit for about 30 minutes, and after that's done, we'll come back and we'll do stage one of the powdered sugar coating. All right, I got my big, dirty puppy chow tub. I've let this stuff sit for about 30 minutes. We've got to the point now where I'm fairly confident that when I add the powdered sugar, it's just not going to melt all over it. You'll get a little bit of that, but not a lot. That makes bad puppy chow, and we want good puppy chow. So here's another reason I like these silicone mats so much. Look at that. I'm going to be able to take this and I'm going to be able to put it right into my big old tub, just like that. Look at that. We're good. That's it. That's very little cleanup. Puppy chow's in there. 1/2 cup of the powdered sugar, not all of it. We're going to put a 1/4 cup in later. So I'm going to sprinkle that in there. Put my lid on here. Maybe. There it is. Keep one hand on this lid. Trust me. So now we're just going to run this around. Now what you got here, you almost have puppy chow. Not quite, but almost. What we need to do now is we need to make sure that this sets up really well. So I'm going to take this whole thing, lid it up, and I'm going to go put it in my deep freeze for about 10-15 minutes. And when we come out, we're going to finish this with the nuts and the rest of the powdered sugar and a little more cinnamon. A little time in the freezer, and I think we're good to go. It's time to add the rest of what we need to this puppy chow. So I'm going to add my pecans and the reserved 1/4 cup of powdered sugar and a little more cinnamon. You get that cinnamon twice, and then you know, you're tasting it in the chocolate and you're tasting it in the sugar. I've made it without putting the cinnamon in the sugar. This is the way to go. So I'm going to lid it up and we're going to shake it one more time. All that stuff that was stuck to the sides totally came off of there. We've got that integrated into the mix now. So, oh yeah, this is good. We need to get this in a bowl. Oh yeah, look at that. We got all these polished pieces of puppy chow. We got those sugar and chili coated nuts. I'm going to get me some of this. You know, even if you're not a huge fan of dark chocolate, I think you got to try this. There's enough sweet on here, and it's backed up by the vanilla and that cinnamon that the dark chocolate just works. I think if you go too sweet here and you use a milder chocolate, you're not going to get that same Mexican chocolate kick. And if you like spicy, man, these nuts are the way to go. You got chili, you got butter, a little bit of powdered sugar on there. And if you're really a pecan fiend, you can double the pecans in there, and it's still going to be great. So, yeah, you got to watch yourself. You could really get away with a whole bowl of this stuff if you're not careful. So, anyway, if you want to try this yourself, then check out more at the recipe over at Hayes Daily News. Or if you want all the details, you can go over to my website, somethingedible.com, where you got some photos and a few more details. And as always, if you got questions, you can look me up on Facebook or even Twitter. So I'm going to eat some more puppy chow. You can go find your own.